I'll die.
Vegetables! Die, veggie scum!
Look at what we can do when we work together to vanquish patriarchy. I mean vegetables.
You see, all my years on the internet and just making YouTube videos, I've seen a lot of like retarded things, you could say. I think we all just witnessed my top 5.
There are some people who think that encouraging exercise or even talking about it is toxic. And one of these people was just hired as a public health consultant. This is Virgie Tovar. You may have already heard that the city of San Francisco brought her on a few months ago as a consultant for the public health department. The problem? Well, as we'll see in this video, Virgie is not a very big fan of health. And recently she's taken this to a new extreme.
We can tell. We can tell. You don't need to tell us, so we can tell.
Recently, Virgie's been hating on exercise. Guys, I've been really trying not to talk about body positivity anymore. I made my points. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. The ideas put forth by the body positivity and health at every size movements are silly. They don't make any sense. They're just not logical.
The best way to win the war against fat is to give up the fight.
But the public health department thing caught my eye and made me wonder, what's Virgie up to lately? So I go check out her Instagram and I see she has a problem with exercise now. So I'm like, fine, we're making the video. So I guess today we're catching up with Virgie's fresh takes on exercise, health, and weight loss.
It's gonna be fun.
And childhood obesity. Virgie was actually recently on Dr. Phil, and that's a large amount of what they discussed.
Does anybody disagree that we stop childhood obesity? Do you disagree with that?
I mean, I just think that it's a very big phrase, right? Like at the end of the day, right?
She's actually funny. She said big phrase. That's a good joke.
Body diversity
Virgie.
is a real thing. There are naturally bigger people. There are naturally smaller people.
So yeah.
But there's also unnaturally bigger people, and the unnaturally bigger people are the people we're talking about here. I don't know why that's hard to understand. I think somebody's coping.
But first up, a very brief overview of her new job. You may already know who Virgie is, you may not. But Virgie Tovar is a prominent, quote-unquote, fat activist who recently accepted a new job.
You have the right to remain fat? That's what a fucking cop would say in America. Because that's usually what they are.
The San Francisco Department of Health's new weight czar has gone viral for her proclamation that no one has to be healthy.
What is your definition
Weight czar
of health?
Cheeseburgers, double cheeseburgers, laying in bed, Uber Eats.
No one has to be healthy. No, right?
She's been hired to be a voice in the room reminding officials about stigmas faced by overweight people while they are developing public health initiatives. Virgie has a lot of very extreme views about health and weight, so I was so surprised when I saw this hire.
No, let's hear it.
And for me, I feel very, very strongly that I owe myself health and I owe everyone that I love health. I think I have a duty to everyone in my life to try to be behaviorally healthy. Like, I can't help if I get a disease, but I can at least try to live in a way that doesn't cause everyone else around me anxiety. That's the way I think about it. And that doesn't—
I don't have people around me really besides Kara and some of my friends. They don't give a shit. Only Kara does. But like, the thing is, like, I'm not gonna do it for other people. Fuck that, right? If you want to be unhealthy, be unhealthy, but don't fucking preach it, right? It's the same thing with religion and pride. Like, do what you want. Don't fucking shove it in our faces. It's fine. Like, I'll respect it, right? You want to be fat? Go be fat. I could be your friend. But like, I'm not gonna shame you unless you tell me being fat is healthy. It's that simple.
probably should be your philosophy if you have a role in public health. Like, if your job is literally to increase the health of the public.
Yeah. For her, yeah, it does make sense because she is a public health instructor. I don't know how. That's like EDP selling cupcakes.
You should have a basic interest in health. Because if you don't care about health, that's cool. You have the right to go set up a casino and cigar stand over there. But you probably shouldn't take a role in public health. I feel like that is extremely fair. But it says her job is to remind officials about stigmas faced by overweight people while they are developing public health initiatives. Now, at first glance, I see nothing wrong with hiring someone to be like, hey, don't worry about your weight, just focus on engaging in healthy behavior.
That's a fat corgi. It's a fat ass dog.
Virgie recently conducted a weight bias training to a group of government workers. And this training included the following 4 tips.
What is it? What's the training? It's like weightlifting burgers into your mouth?
Weight/food bias at work. Helping to decrease stigma around food and bodies at work means doing less of these 4 things. Number 1, talk less or not at all about how you or others eat at work. Okay, this is already a pretty big ask of your coworkers, I think. Obviously,
What?
by this, Virgie really means don't talk about your diet.
Take away freedom of speech. Got it.
Do not talk about keto, paleo, carnivore, veganism, calorie counting, protein consumption, sugar reduction, or any other way that suggests that you are moderating what you consume, which is a major double standard because let's be real here. What would Virgie's opinion be if Nancy from accounting brought cake to the office?
Well, double standards going with her double chin and double cheeseburger. So it actually makes sense. They you know what that's saying? They always come in pairs.
It's so rich.
But a pear is something she would never eat because she can only be shaped like one. She would never consume one.
You know that talking about that office cake would be completely fine and perhaps encouraged. Well, unless someone asked for the smaller slice.
CRFI. Inevitably, there's always someone at the party who has to declare publicly that their slice is too large.
Like, there's no way that Virgie is talking about outlawing talking about food in general because she spends half of her Instagram talking
Where's the
about what she's
cheeseburger?
eating. So
Where is it?
obviously anyone would be allowed to talk about worshiping junk food at the office, but no one would be allowed to talk about trying to improve their blood sugar levels. It's just
That's
a little
wild.
bit backwards. Talk less or not at all about your or others' bodies at work. Okay, that's fine.
Somebody's
Number
projecting.
3, talk less or not at all about exercise at work.
Why?
So this is why I wanted to make this video. Every single person should be annoyed about this. There just ain't no way you're telling people not to talk about exercise at work. First off,
She likes egg-cercise instead.
exercise is just so unproblematic. It is literally one of the most health promoting behaviors of all time. Depending
Yeah.
on who you ask,
It
sleep
helps
might
you
be-
mentally and physically. 100%.
She recently held a Reclaiming Movement After Diet Culture workshop. My heart is so full.
That's the only movement she does. Okay. Alright, I know. That was mean, Cal. Sometimes you gotta be mean to these type of people. They never learn. Besides peanut butter and jelly on her sandwich, she's spreading stupidity amongst people who are young. And if kids look up to her because she's a health instructor, yeah, just like her body, everything's gonna go sideways.
Fatphobia, diet culture, and toxic fitness culture try to convince us that there is a line between legitimate exercise and illegitimate movement. Everything else we do all the time, like laugh, breathe, cry, hug our pals, run to get the last slice of pizza, make tea, bend over to give our fur children a pet, have sex, exist, etc., etc.
So you're telling me my joke about lifting cheeseburgers into your mouth was kind of not too far-fetched? That's crazy. That's like weightlifting for fat people.
I covered a story of a really inspiring person named Jesse Shand. He was like 600 pounds, he could barely stand up, and to get started exercising, he literally just flopped around.
Miskers said that at your weight, you could just literally flop around and lose weight. I laughed, I had to admit, but let's try that theory.
And that honestly was not only movement, that was exercise. It got his heart rate up, he was sweating, it was exercise, and it changed his life. If we always just do what we can today and do a little bit
Good
better
on him.
tomorrow, we'll find ourselves one day in a better place in life.
People are gonna be like, Kyle, why didn't you make fun of that guy? Cause he didn't preach fatness. He knew it was bad. So like, if you notice, I don't just make fun of any fat person. I make fun of stupid fat people.
Going from zero activity to just 90 minutes a week is about a 15% reduction in all-cause mortality.
So I'm 15% less likely to die.
And if you go from being completely sedentary to just doing 90 minutes a week.
Now you're gonna see a bunch of fat suicidal people.
Virgie's message was literally this: what if,
Let's hear it.
instead of trying for more movement each day, we just change the definition of movement? Some of Virgie's finest work, well worth whatever the taxpayers of San Francisco are paying her, I'm sure. Although I did see that the position was worth only like $12,000, so it's not anything crazy. But I mean, given the premises of the workshop, it's probably 12,000 too many. Virgie actually breaks it down further, and
Yeah,
it
it's
honestly
12,000 burgers. 12,000 burgers.
The premises of the workshop were, number one, we are all born movers. The universe is always moving, and so are we. She's
Okay. So sitting in a car and driving, does that count as exercise? What is her logic here?
literally saying that we're already moving because the planet is rotating, isn't she? That's what that says, right? I'm not just... The universe is always moving. That's what that says. See, like, what do we actually do with this? The workshop is persuading people that exercise is unnecessary because the planet is rotating.
We send them to space, and just like Katy Perry, we don't let them come back.
Vegetables! Die, veggie scum! Look at what we can do when we work together to vanquish patriarchy! I mean vegetables.
Not only that, but Virgie...
You see, all my years on the internet and just making YouTube videos, I've seen a lot of like retarded things, you could say. I think we all just witnessed my top 5.
And
it's
ignore
not an agenda,
health.
But
Oh,
no, I don't
come
want to health. I don't want to ignore health at all. That,
You do want to ignore health because you want to run a social agenda.
And finally, if we need any other evidence that Virgie probably shouldn't hold any sort of role in public health, even if it's...
What do you mean, any other evidence? That's the evidence.
It's a new year, new life, new tears, new friends, same love. But I'm glad you're here, you're mine, my dear. I see you, my